Hello everyone and welcome to this new video. We are going to see together Agatha Christie's last riddle that would never have been solved. Agatha Christie is one of the most famous authors in the world. She is said to have written more than 91 riddles, yet there is one that has never been solved. It was in 1926 that the famous novelist disappeared without a trace and without explanation. Reality will surpass fiction. Agatha Christie is known for being the author of many novels with the most incredible plots. These works are recognized all over the world and they would be known all over the world. Still at present it will be approximately more than 300,000 copies of these novels that would be sold each year. But even if some of you are familiar with the works of Agatha Christie, there is an event that few are aware of and that rocked the world into a very mysterious story. Who could have been in one of these novels? In 1926, when her new novel was published, Agatha Christie faced new problems. Her mother has just passed away and her husband is often absent. She will then plunge into a terrible depression. One evening, she would even call her secretary to come to her bedside because she was really not feeling well. But it will be on the evening of December 3rd, 1926, when the secretary arrived on the scene, that the mystery will begin. Arriving in front of the house, she will find the barn doors wide open. Agatha Christie's car is no longer in the barn and Agatha Christie remains nowhere to be found. She's not in the house or around, she would have simply disappeared. The strangest thing isn't really the fact that Agatha Christie took the car at night. Even if she was not at all used to driving at night, it is that she would have left her 7-year-old child alone in the house, which was not at all in her habit. But the mystery, he will not stop there because the next day his car will be found on the edge of a road. We will find inside his car his coat while we are in the middle of December and it is relatively cold. So once again no body will be found, nor any message from Agatha Christie. It was as if she had vanished. Quickly, the case will make a lot of noise in the media. Many colleagues of Agatha Christie, specialized or experts in intrigue novels, will lead the investigation in parallel with the police. They're going to try to find her much faster, or try to figure out what might have happened. Many initially who will look into his case will think that it is simply a marketing stunt or an advertising stunt in order to sell many more books. Others suggest that it could be an emotional issue because she'd just lost a loved one, and most people would need time and be alone. On the other hand, for some, it can be a much more macabre affair or a kidnapping. That's why it's important to find her before anything bad happens to her. The over-media coverage of this case will make her the main character of one of her own novels, and her disappearance will be worthy of one of her best plots. For more than 11 days, the police will relentlessly search for her. They will carry out many searches throughout England, but they will not succeed in finding her, and for the first time, they will even send a plane in search of her, which is not at all usual at the time. In cases of disappearance, searches will not yield anything until December 14th, 1926. When the police receive a very mysterious phone call, a person would have certified to have seen Agatha Christie in a hotel in the north of England and would be persuaded that she would still be in this hotel. Immediately, the police and her husband will go to the scene to try to authenticate this person and confirm that it is indeed Agatha Christie. When they arrive, they will be sure that it is her. However, she claims to have amnesia and will not recognize her husband. Contrary to what we think, the mystery will become even bigger because she will be found more than 80 kilometers from her home. As you remember, the gendarmes had found his vehicle a few days after his disappearance, yet throughout her life, she will pretend not to know how she got here, or even what happened to her. Not everyone who questions him will get much out of it. Agatha Christie will never explain everything that may have happened to her, and many people will come to the conclusion that Agatha Christie and believe that she is music, and that in reality she would have something to hide. Hypotheses suggest that she could have had an affair with a certain person, but that everything would not have gone as planned, and that currently she would pretend that she no longer remembers what happened. To avoid being blamed for anything until her death, she will not be able to answer on this mystery and may assume that the secret is buried in her memory, but that she cannot remember it. The strange thing is that she doesn't even mention it in her biography. She doesn't talk about his disappearance and so leaves an unsolved mystery, no matter what happens. Even if the novelist would have staged everything that happened to her, she is behind it. The most interesting plot of his career. And that's the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to tell me in the comments, and if you have other topics like that you want me to cover in my next videos. If you are interested in miting people, feel free to go see my other episodes. You can always like, share, and subscribe, but we'll see you in a future video. Who was Coinfire? Peace out.